Hello, Manchester City fan. A very warm welcome to the channel, where you can find the freshest news about your beloved team. Before we get started, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest City updates. Now, let's get to the important stuff. In this video, we'll bring you up to speed on the latest developments with key information that could impact the future of our beloved Manchester City. In October 2024, Thomas Tuchel took over as England's national team manager, stepping into a highly responsible role after Gareth Southgate's departure. Southgate had managed the team for 8 long years, leading England to 2 major tournament finals, but unfortunately failing to secure any titles. Now, with Tuchel at the helm, the challenge is even greater. The manager's mission is to form a team that delivers results and, perhaps, even brings home the long-awaited World Cup title. One of Tuchel's first big decisions was to announce the squad for England's upcoming World Cup qualifiers. And, much to many people's surprise, Manchester City midfielder Jack Grealish was left out of the squad. For many City fans, this exclusion was not a huge surprise, as Grealish's performances in recent seasons have faced heavy criticism. On social media, fans reacted to Grealish's absence in a very direct way. Obviously, some said, as if the decision was expected. Others didn't hold back and expressed their frustration, stating that Grealish no longer deserved a chance in the England team. The midfielder, who has earned 39 caps for the national team and scored 4 goals, has been going through a tough time since joining City, mainly due to his performances falling below the expectations of many. Some even questioned Pep Guardiola's decision to sign Grealish, criticizing the hefty $100 million price tag and arguing that, so far, he hasn't shown the worth of that transfer. Sports commentator Simon Jordan, for example, was highly critical of the price paid for the player, mentioning that expectations were high for Grealish to be a game-changer, but so far, he has not delivered. Despite his absence from the national team, things might change for Grealish at City. He has the chance to recover from recent injuries and, who knows, become an important player for Guardiola's team in the final stretch of the season. The Spanish manager still has high expectations for the player, especially considering Grealish's strong performances in the previous season, where City won the treble. And you, City fan, what do you think about Tuchel's decision to leave Grealish out? Do you think he should have been called up? Or is this absence justified? Leave your opinion in the comments. Now let's move on to another important piece of news involving the future of a player who could soon become a star at Manchester City. Florian Wirtz, the young talent from Bayer Leverkusen. The 21-year-old midfielder has been catching the eye of Europe's top clubs with his impressive performances, both for his technical quality and his vision of the game. Wirtz made a brilliant return from a serious injury, and it didn't take long for him to showcase his full potential. Last season, he was a key player in Leverkusen's Bundesliga title win, with 18 goals and 20 assists in all competitions. His impact on the team was crucial, and now he already has 28 goal contributions in the current season. With numbers like that, it's no surprise that clubs such as Manchester City and Real Madrid are keeping a close eye on him. Despite having just 2 years remaining on his contract, Bayer Leverkusen has been working to secure Wirtz's future at the club. The club believes he will sign an extension soon, and according to Sport Bild, this new deal could include a release clause worth around $126 million, allowing the player to leave, but only under specific conditions. One of the reasons behind Leverkusen's optimism is that Wirtz has shown a balanced approach to his career. Rather than moving to a big club right away, he prefers to focus on his development and maturity, aware of the challenges of playing for a top team at such a young age, like City or Real Madrid. This shows he is not just thinking about fame and money, but rather his long-term professional growth. Behind the scenes at Leverkusen, discussions about Wirtz's future have been intense. His family, manager Xabi Alonso, and sporting director Simon Rolfs have been fully committed to supporting his development. The player has shown dedication to his progress, recognizing that the pressure of playing for a big club can affect his emotional stability. Leverkusen, in turn, has made it clear that they will support Wirtz through this maturation process. Wirtz's potential contract extension may also include a release clause of $109 $3 million, which would make his departure more feasible in the future. With this clause, the player would have the opportunity to move to a big club at a time that best suits his career. Now, City fan, here's the big question. Should Manchester City invest heavily in Florian Wirtz? The young midfielder seems to be the kind of player who could fit perfectly into Guardiola's system, bringing creativity and dynamism to the team's midfield. But with such a high price tag, should City make this move, or would it be wiser to seek cheaper, perhaps more experienced options? Continuing with the latest updates on Manchester City, speculation around reinforcements for the next season shows no sign of stopping. The club continues to keep an eye on the market, evaluating options that could add even more quality to the team and help maintain competitiveness, not only in the Premier League, but also in European competitions. Manchester City has always been a team that invests in young talent, as we saw with the arrival of Jack Grealish, and of course, with Guardiola's ongoing work in turning already talented players into world-class stars. Speaking of potential reinforcements, the name of Florian Wirtz has emerged as one of the most attractive options for the future of the midfield. As I mentioned before, Bayer Leverkusen has been doing everything possible to keep the player, offering a new contract with a release clause that would allow his departure at the right time. This fits the City philosophy, which always seeks players with high potential and a development-focused mindset. Wirtz, with his technical ability, game vision, and knack for deciding matches, could be the perfect addition to City's midfield. If the team manages to secure the signing of the young prodigy, he could become a key player, especially considering the future of players like Bernardo Silva, who has already been the subject of transfer rumors. At the same time, Jack Grealish's situation continues to spark debates. His exclusion from the England squad could be a sign that he may need to find a new impetus in his career. At City, he remains an important player, but will he be able to establish himself as a consistent starter? His development will be crucial for the team's immediate future, and Guardiola expects him to rediscover his best form, as we saw in the season when City won the treble. On the other hand, Thomas Tuchel's decision not to call him up for the upcoming England fixtures has only heightened doubts about Grealish's real position in top-level football. For a player who cost $100 million, the pressure is even greater. We are not talking about just any investment, but a substantial sum, and for an athlete who has yet to live up to expectations. Grealish's absence from the England squad also raises questions about how he will be treated by Guardiola in the coming weeks. The Manchester City manager has shown patience with the player, but will he continue to be part of the main tactical setup? Or will City begin to explore other options to fill the position? The answers to these questions could determine Grealish's future at the club. Back to Bayer Leverkusen's situation and Florian Wirtz, Manchester City knows that to be competitive at the highest level, they must invest in players with technical quality and, above all, the right mindset. Wirtz has shown that he can handle the pressure and the expectations of a big club, which makes him an even more attractive option for City. Of course, Leverkusen does not want to lose the player easily, but if City decides to invest seriously, they will be ready to fight for this signing. With the release clause in mind, Manchester City would need to be willing to pay a considerable sum, something the club is more than willing to do to secure the future of the team. The situation with Jack Grealish and the possible arrival of Florian Wirtz are not the only topics dominating discussions among Manchester City fans. The season has been full of challenges, and Guardiola knows that every decision is crucial to keep the hunt for trophies alive, both in the Premier League and the Champions League. City has been an unstoppable machine, but even the best teams face adversities. The Premier League title race remains tight, and Manchester City has shown itself to be extremely strong, even against rivals like Liverpool, Arsenal, and Chelsea. However, with each passing season, the pressure to keep winning increases. Guardiola knows that to maintain City's supremacy, it is necessary not only to keep the squad's quality, but also to make room for new stars to shine. In this scenario, Wirtz could be an addition that not only strengthens the squad, but also offers the team a new level of creativity and game vision. With his ability to change the course of a match and his youth, he could bring a fresh element to the team, while also helping ensure that Manchester City always has a dynamic midfield capable of controlling the game against the toughest opponents. Now, the big challenge for Manchester City will be making the right decision regarding their reinforcement targets, both in midfield and other positions. The transfer market promises to be busy, and City needs to be prepared not to miss opportunities to strengthen the squad with players who can truly make a difference. Will the club make a robust offer for Florian Wirtz, or will they look for more affordable alternatives? Will Grealish finally meet Guardiola's expectations, or is Manchester City already considering other options for his position? These questions continue to spark heated discussions among the fans. The future of Manchester City looks promising, but there are many challenges ahead. The season is far from over, and the club needs to continue strengthening and adapting to the ever-increasing demands of elite football. What is clear is that Manchester City has a solid foundation and an elite squad, but with the constant changes in the market and the potential departures or arrivals of new players, the team needs to continue adapting to the new demands of modern football. The constant search for quality, tactical innovation, and balance between experienced players and promising young talents, such as Florian Wirtz, is essential to keeping the team competitive and ensuring that City stays at the top for many seasons. Furthermore, Guardiola himself has faced challenges in balancing keeping his players motivated and adapted to his playing style while dealing with the external pressures that come with continuous success. He has always been known for his ability to adjust his tactics and find creative solutions, but the big question is how he will do this with the need to strengthen certain key positions in the team. The arrival of new talents, such as a potential agreement with Wirtz, would be a strategic solution for the future. However, City should not forget to look inside its own house. Players like Phil Foden, who have shown great potential, could become even more important in the coming years, with a development plan that prepares them to take on even more prominent roles in the first team. On the other hand, Grealish's situation needs to be closely monitored. His relationship with Guardiola and City has always been one of high expectations, but so far, the midfielder has failed to justify the significant investment made to bring him to the Etihad. His performance and adaptation to City's playing style have been questioned, and now, with his exclusion from the England squad, the focus should be even greater on restoring his level of play. Guardiola, however, has been patient with the player, trusting that Grealish has the quality and potential to contribute significantly to the team. However, time is running out, and if he does not show more consistency in his performance, City may begin to look for alternatives to reinforce this position. It is already known that the club is keeping an eye on other players who could play the creative midfield role, and Wirtz, with his fluid and creative style of play, would be an ideal option for this role. The pressure on Manchester City to continue its dominance in the Premier League and pursue more Champions League titles will not decrease. The club is already one of the giants of world football, but there is always room for improvement. With the rise of Arsenal, Liverpool, and other European giants, competition will only increase, and City needs to maintain its advantage. The key to this will be continuing to invest in top-level talents, like Wirtz, while resolving internal matters such as Grealish's future and the continued development of young players like Foden. In an increasingly dynamic transfer market, Manchester City cannot afford to rest on its laurels. Guardiola's decisions on who will stay and who may be discarded, as well as the possible move to secure Wirtz's signature, will be crucial to the team's success in the future. Manchester City is in a moment of balance between the continuity of Guardiola's work and the need to innovate in order not to be overtaken by rivals. The transfer market is always full of movements, but as we have seen in recent seasons, City has stood out by seeking players who fit the coach's playing style without making risky gambles, but also without becoming complacent with the current squad. Florian Wirtz could be the answer to many of the questions surrounding the future of the team's midfield. The youth, technical talent, and developmental mindset of the player are exactly what City needs to give more depth to their team. Of course, like any signing, there is always the risk that the player may not adapt to English football or Guardiola's system, but City has shown that they know how to shape and develop young talents. The work done with players like Foden, 23, and the development of other successful names, such as Erling Haaland, proves that the club has the ability to turn prospects into stars. If Wirtz indeed joins City, he would not only add a new quality piece to the midfield, but he could also be an alternative to the evolution of the team's style of play. His creative style and ability to contribute both defensively and offensively would be ideal for Guardiola's team dynamics, which values possession and quick, engaging attacking movements. The problem with Grealish, as mentioned earlier, is that his adaptation to City has not been as swift as expected. While he has had moments of brilliance, the inconsistencies in his form and difficulty in maintaining a starting role are factors that put his future at the club at risk. His exclusion from the England squad is a reflection of the difficulties he has faced in achieving the necessary consistency at the highest level. For Guardiola, Grealish still has value, but will the player be able to recover and reach the expected potential? The decisions Manchester City makes in the coming months, both regarding Grealish and new signings like Wirtz, will shape much of the team's direction in the coming years. The club needs to make smart investments, ensure that key pieces remain in place, and not hesitate to bring in new talents who can further elevate the level of the team. The future is promising, but the challenges are also great, and the competition, as always, will be fierce. So, City fan, what is your opinion on the club's future? What do you think of Florian Wirtz? Would he be the right signing for the midfield, or should Manchester City look for other options? And what about Grealish? Does he have a future at City, or is it time to consider alternatives for his position? Leave your opinion in the comments below. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to never miss any new content about Manchester City. See you in the next video.